I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the Skywalker saga, specifically the sequel trilogy by Disney, there's a lot of fans out there that really either dislike the character of Rey or really enjoy the character of Rey and how she was written by the creators of J.J. Abrams, Chris Terrio, Rian Johnson, you name it, in the sequel trilogy movies. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that as of right now, Bob Chapek, the new Disney CEO, is really trying to make it as successful as it really can be. In fact, they have a big goal in mind here in order to make Star Wars just as successful, if not more successful, than the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, by the way, right now is evolving with the Eternals and all these new movies coming out. So, the thing about Disney Star Wars, where we stand right now, a lot of fans have been very curious about what could have been with The Rise of Skywalker and what was the deal with some of the characters like Rey, Luke, Ben Solo, Palpatine, the list goes on, right? And as of right now, where we stand, Kathleen Kennedy no longer has creative control over any of the existing projects in the early development phase, which is a really good thing in my book. I think that was a very good decision by Bob Chapek, and I think that we really are going to get a different taste of Star Wars movies and TV shows as far as tone goes in the near future. Now, what's really intriguing about all of this, of course, is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films as well as their new Star Wars universe. Now, it's explained that currently Disney has multiple plans in place in order to really change many aspects of the Star Wars franchise in order to reunite the fans around the world to create a better Star Wars brand. It's noted that Disney's new CEO, Bob Chapek, is providing many changes over at Lucasfilm to create more authentic Star Wars projects in the near future. However, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to many of the creators of the sequel trilogy, as well as many of the actors. At one point in time, Daisy Ridley was interviewed about The Rise of Skywalker, where she was questioned about Kathleen Kennedy's leadership at one point in time, where Ridley went on to state that toward the end of the initial cut of the film, Kathleen Kennedy stepped in to make major changes to the character of Rey. Daisy Ridley went on to reveal that Kathleen Kennedy was the one who proposed the idea to J.J. Abrams that Rey would be connected to the Palpatine bloodline, and that this was all Kathleen Kennedy's idea and in fact a last-minute decision, and that it was not in the cards before The Force Awakens, like Kathleen Kennedy said to the fans some time ago. Now, it's noted that Ridley went on to state that Kathleen Kennedy also had J.J. Abrams cut a major scene for Rey, in which she was going to be the one who trained with Luke's Force Ghost in the very beginning of the movie, where this scene was partially shot between Ridley and Hamill sometime in 2018, but Kennedy wanted to cut that out and use less of Luke Skywalker. Daisy goes on to state and reveal that Kathleen Kennedy was the one who initiated the reshoots to use less of Luke Skywalker and more of her character, Rey, since of course Kennedy believes that the end of the Skywalker saga is not about Luke, Leia, or Ben Solo, or even Anakin at that. It's about who becomes the next Skywalker and who rises to continue this legacy of the Skywalker bloodline, essentially. Now, the thing about this that I think really goes against some of the fans out there is the fact that Kennedy doesn't really believe that the end of the Skywalker saga was about its core characters. We're talking about Luke, Leia, Ben, and Anakin, all of which are connected to the Skywalker bloodline, right? Now, when you think about it in this sense, alright, a lot of fans either love the idea that Rey became a Skywalker by name, not by blood, or fans are totally against that. I, for one, for example, am against that idea, and I'm sure that you guys who have been following me for quite some time know this. When I actually saw the film, I just feel like that they really could have come up with a great idea that she was actually connected to them by blood. They could have done anything. And I think that when we look at everything about what Daisy Ridley has said before in the past of how, the ending was changed multiple times because of Kathleen Kennedy, and even in this scenario where Daisy goes on to reveal that, Kennedy actually was the one who proposed the idea to J.J. Abrams to make Rey a Palpatine and to have her connected to that bloodline instead of the Skywalker lineage, which some fans, may very well enjoy because, Palpatine is a very big figure, a very big character in the Star Wars universe. But at the same exact time, if you really can look at it in several ways at the very end of the movie. You know, at the very end of the movie, we still have a Palpatine who took the Skywalker name itself, you know, if you look at it in that sense. You could really go either way. So, like I've said before in the past, you know, I would really like to see what you guys have to say about everything related to, you know, Daisy Ridley and Kathleen Kennedy here, and all the reshoots and all the changes that were applied to this movie before it made its big debut back in, of course, December of 2019, just last year. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below, and let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon we hear them moans again.